السبيل أنت بالتحدي تصنع المستحيل.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to your favorite sports show in South Africa. For those of you tuning in across the world, we could say on the World Wide Web, you're now tuning into Salam Media. I'm your host, Lita Gqirana, and I'm going to be taking you through the next hour. Later on, we're going to be speaking to Lita Gqirana. She is a hybrid athlete, she calls herself. We're going to chat to her a bit about her journey in sport and also chat a bit more about what she gets up to behind the scenes. But first up, we've got a very special guest, an esteemed guest, one that took time out of his day and his travels to chat to us. The Proteas recently concluded their ICC Women's Cricket World Cup in New Zealand, and they returned back home. At the tournament, Australia lifted their 7th World Cup trophy, with South Africa falling short in the semi-finals after being knocked out to England. Next up, we're going to be chatting all about what has been going down. We're going to be chatting to Lita Gqirana. If that's correct, Lita would maybe correct me on the pronunciation of his surname. Lita, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me on Salam Media. It's always a pleasure.
Hi there, it's okay. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor to be here, and particularly representing the lovely Momentum Proteas.
Always a pleasure chatting to you, Lita. Look, Lita, you've had an amazing few weeks. It's been hectic, jam-packed for you. What's it like being back home, man?
Oh yeah, it's been, as you said, it's been a whirlwind of past actually 3 months. If you look at it in a bigger picture, it's good to be back home. It's the first time I'm home since January the 13th, so really good to be back home. Obviously, still wrapping up some things after the World Cup, while the players are starting their holidays, well-deserved holidays as well. So yeah, it's been good. Just still working hard, and hopefully, I'm looking forward to my leave in the next couple of days.
Well, I'm sure you certainly are. Lita, the World Cup is a pretty amazing experience. I mean, it's every kid's childhood dream. What is it like for you as the media manager of the Momentum Proteas, being over in New Zealand and handling things behind the scenes for the women's team?
Yes, just the way you put it right there. It's everyone's dream to, represent your country at the highest level. Even though we were not on the field ourselves, but we still have a huge responsibility on our shoulders to make sure that we put our best foot forward in any aspect of our job, and that's exactly the same with the players and with management. It was good. It was an amazing experience. From the minute you touched down in New Zealand, you could feel that you had a World Cup. Although they were also being hit by COVID at that time, you felt you were doing something special and on sort of the verge of something special. So it was really amazing. And for me, it was just a matter of I had to literally keep pinching myself. At the end of the day, I'm there to do a job. And as I said earlier, just to put my best foot forward at the World Cup. It's the highest level. The players have to be at their highest level, and it's no different for management.
Well, you said you were there to do a job. For me and you that are colleagues in the sporting industry, we know what you're talking about. But for the kid at home or the gogo sitting on a couch listening to this interview, Lita, what exactly was your roles and responsibilities at the World Cup?
Yes. Basically, I'd like to consider myself as the middleman between the media and the team. Basically, sending the messages and conveying a story of the team out to the media, and then also spreading. Feeding the sort of the media narrative back into the team and helping them understand what is going on out there and what is being said and what is also expected of them. So basically, my job from day to day would have a content schedule that we would write up before a tour or World Cup, where we know, okay, we're going to speak to this player and this player, talk about their story, talk about the moment coming up or the moment that has been, and then basically feeding that then into the media and then arranging for interview opportunities and slots in the radio, etc., to sort of merge those two parties, the media and the team, and basically try and create a narrative, that is out there that we'd like to see of the Momentum Proteas, which is a team that has come from, a long way in the last 10 to 15 years, and they are now second in the world with all the challenges that they face, and they're second in the world, and by no fluke, that's for sure.
That is definitely for sure. The hard yards have been put in by the players. And I mean, over time, you've seen players getting contracts overseas, and you've seen so many opportunities just open up for them. Lita, over in New Zealand, I mean, it's been a phenomenal tour. It's been a phenomenal World Cup. Many would have never expected the results that South Africa got. Yes, it was a semi-final that we got knocked out, unfortunately. But I mean, just the entire tournament as a whole, from the media side, what were some of the challenges that you experienced? Because we do know that um, in Asia and in the Middle East, India, Pakistan, and then you move over to England, cricket is one of the most followed sports over there. How do you control the narrative of those media publications over there?
Obviously, it helps a hell of a lot if you have a team that's doing very well on the field. And that was the case, building up to this World Cup. The ladies come off 5 consecutive series wins in ODI cricket. So going into this World Cup already, it helped that, you are working with a team that is winning. So the media and the South African public, I think at large, love a team that is winning. And that's not different with regards to the international media as well. So heading into the World Cup, it was a breeze, if I can put it that way, in a sense that, the team's narrative was already being shaped on the field. And now it's just about telling the wider stories behind the players and, the work that goes into where this team has been, as you know, has reached at this level at this moment in time. And then, so I mean, it was really good during the World Cup. Obviously, the crazy finishes and the crazy run chases was definitely something that added to and amplified the team's sort of profile around the world, and that obviously led to more and more opportunities and more interviews being requested. Obviously, as long as we try and in our job work around the player's schedule, a cricket schedule, if I can put it that way, and during the World Cup, it was obviously a matter of balancing that out with their time off as well, because obviously cricket 24/7 can get to you. So during the World Cup, it was, we had our press conferences, we had interview opportunities in and around their training sessions. So we can, when they're at work, and when they have time to switch off, they have time to switch off. But all in all, it was great. As I said, easier to work with a team that is winning because the narrative is half written on the field.
No, definitely, it makes it so much easier because then you can shape the stories that go out in the public. And I mean, you've certainly done a good job, Lita. South Africa, you might have not known, but we were following you step by step just to see how things were unfolding at the World Cup. Lita, as a media manager, World Cup time, what are some of your challenging times that you faced over there? We know the team had some challenges on the pitch. The pressure was real, but as a media manager, what are some of the pressures that you face?
Basically, we have a saying in management, basically that we're not cricketers. We don't play cricket ourselves. So in terms of the pressures of a World Cup and the pressures of winning on the field and representing your country in front of the world watching, it's different. We can't really compare the two. The pressure that a media manager deals with compared to a pressure that a fast bowler or opening batter deals with are completely